Welcome back, Guardians. My name is Samlab. Before anything else, we need to discuss everything that happened in the recent story mission that took place after Reset, and naturally, this is the official conclusion of Season of the Wish. As usual, take this moment as your spoiler warning. I think it's important for you all as viewers to have the choice whether you partake in secrets being revealed, and this is one of those occasions. If you're still here, great. Let's talk about what's most important. Yesterday in Destiny after Reset, we received a request from none other than Osiris himself. For those who don't know, Osiris has been working to build a bridge, a connection between the Veil and the Traveler, just like the Witness did, so that we can enter the extra-spatial portal and eventually eliminate the Witness. The quest we received is called Veiled Threats. Something is blocking or veiling the strand-like connection of the Veil, which is emanating from the Black Garden. Now, many of you who haven't played the mission probably know that this is going somewhere. But it makes sense, given whose dominion rules the Black Garden. However, the further we go in, the more the Soul Divisive Vex and Taken try to stop us. See where this is going? After successfully defeating the Vex Mind, you reach a locked cylindrical door, which begins to unlock as you approach it. Behind this door is none other than the Black Heart. Now, for those of you who are new to Destiny, you probably have no idea what the Black Heart is, so I wanted to go into a little bit of detail, giving you a quick idea in this unscripted video exactly what the Black Heart is. In Destiny 1, Guardians ventured into the Black Garden at the behest of Mara Sov and Uldren Sov. Ultimately, Guardians destroyed the first Black Heart. That's it, the end. The Soul Divisive were there, they tried to stop us. The same 3 Vex you see in this story mission is the same 3 Vex you see in Destiny 1. The interesting thing about the Vex is they are constantly self-replicating. Killing one Vex doesn't ultimately kill all Vex. In the same way you can kill multiple groups of Vex units and they still keep working their way through portals, even portals that were so-called shut even after you defeated multiple Vex minds. The Vex are a hive mind network and they have hierarchy, but we'll get into that in a moment. The next important point for you to realize or remember or put a pin in is that Neomuna's discovery and the Veil containment logs led us to find multiple attempts of the Vex trying to simulate the Veil, which is essentially what the Black Heart is. What the Vex have done this time is create another copy. But this time is a little bit strange. They've engineered a simulated copy of an original copy of the Veil, if that makes sense. It's very much like the Vex and their computational algorithms to have a ways of a means of a ways of a means. Kind of like Inception, if you've ever seen that movie. Ultimately, this Black Heart was, again, a failure. So the Season of the Wish, during this entire season, the Vex have been trying to breach the Veil. Ultimately, they want to connect to the Veil and become paracausal. However, with our Guardian's intervention, this plan was thwarted and destroyed the simulated Black Heart, severing their link to the Veil. This not only prevented the Vex from becoming one with the Witness, but it also enables Osiris to continue his work on forming a connection to the Veil. With this connection re-established, the Veil is crucial in the element of our fight against the Witness. In the wrong hands, it could spell disaster of our universe. I have talked about this countless times, but lore hints at the idea of the Vex being the first errant pattern in the Garden, and the Winnower suggests that the Vex had to evolve after their first battle between light and darkness. When all creation in the garden escaped into the madness of primordial space, they are hell-bent on bringing chaos into order, unifying the universe in their one set image. Whatever this looks like, the Vex are actually one of the biggest threats that Guardians haven't truly had the fullest opportunity to face in all their totality. For years, the Vex have acquired and gathered information. Some lore hints at their being true overlords, or to the effect of Ascended Hive, the minds that orchestrate every aspect of their lesser units, and each expansion or season in Destiny has left massive trails of breadcrumbs about the autonomous hijackers in their relentless pursuit to overcome their every obstacle. The very idea of them thinking that they could merge with the Witness and gain paracausality would be a problem of cataclysmic level. If they were to gain paracausality in combination with infinite calculations and ability to move through time and rewrite time, let's just say that they could quite literally undo everything. This is why it's important for Guardians to be relentless in their efforts to stop the Vex from gaining such abilities. Without a doubt, this story beat is going to connect straight into Episode 1, Echoes, the next big story coming to Destiny post-Final Shape. And we will start to see the discussion of Maya Sundaresh and Lakshmi 2 and the 227 Ishtar researcher copies still within the Vex network, and quite possibly Praedith, the Guardian who sacrificed herself in order to help Guardians destroy the Vault of Glass Vex mind. This time I thought I would save the best part until last. So if you haven't seen the cutscene, I'll run the clip back for you to enjoy. Here it is.
You died. So did you. Yeah, I don't have to call you Prince anymore, do I?
Amazing, right? I don't think we could have asked for a better cutscene from Bungie. It's been a while, and it already feels so good to see Cayde 6 in the flesh, or the metal, once again. Immediately, there is honestly a lot in this video that I wanted to point or bring to your attention. First is just the sheer size of the extra spatial portal in comparison to Crow. You can really get a sense of just how large the Traveler is in size as Crow falls through it into an entirely new world. The second is that Cayde 6 is holding his signature weapon, the Ace of Spades, which has massive cracks running throughout it. But Cayde looks as good as new, and not just that, but he can interact with others. So if the idea of Cayde 6 being a ghost or an apparition was on your mind, think nothing more. Don't worry about it. It would appear that this truly is the real Cayde 6. that we all know and love. Thirdly, I would like to bring something to your attention. The landscape. For a moment, the terrain appears rugged and rocky, almost barren of life, though there is grass and moss all over the floor and something that resembles trees in the very far distance. Now, while Cade and Crow are getting reacquainted, behind them is a sort of massive dark monolith structure, where we can see cracks of some sort of white lightning, a disembodied sound, and a massive burst of light. What does this remind us of? In my mind, it harkens back to the Traveller, being caged by Dominus Gaul of the Cabal, and how it responded with a blast of light. And a while ago, we had audio logs from Umaru, Savathun's ghost, describing how the Traveller sounded as if it was screaming for help. Whatever is at the center of this structure that the witness is trying to take over, it most definitely sounds like something is crying out in pain, or at the very least in resistance to its logic of the final shape. Before we go, in the next coming weeks I have 1 or 2 lore videos to get done that I think you'll find fascinating to watch and listen to, but I thought I would hint at them because they bear an overall significance to the future of Destiny. Final Shape is out in just under 2 weeks, and this expansion already has more exotics than I could ever have imagined, and each of them have their unique qualities to boot. There are, however, 2 exotics I would like to highlight, which I believe will pertain towards future story beats in Destiny as we move beyond Final Shape. One of such exotics is called the Kastov 7G0X. This is a Destiny 1 exotic weapon that was acquired via a quest in the Plaguelands of the Cosmodrome that took place back in Destiny 1, outside the walls of the last city. The reason this weapon is noteworthy is for a couple of reasons. One is because the Cosmodrome has become more and more relevant over the last few years of Destiny 2, and most noteworthy because there are hints pertaining to the location in some new lore involving Ada 1 and the future of the Cosmodrome. The final piece is the exotic Titan chest armor called Hazardous Propulsion. While the ability of this armor is great, what is more interesting is the crest motif sat on the front of the armor. It looks a lot like a flux capacitor, for any of you Back to the Future fans out there, or 80s kids, but it is actually the logo of Failsafe, a Golden Age AI, more specifically, the Golden Age AI of the Exodus Black colony ship that was part of the Exodus program, a program developed to send humanity into the stars. And this program was developed by Rasputin, who initiated this program after his probes detected the Black Fleet and the Witness at the far edges of our universe. The Exodus Black crash-landed on the Centaur Nessus, which is where Failsafe is stationed. What happened to the cryopods of the Exodus colony ship, that I have no idea, but a majority of the ship is still intact, although many parts of it are scattered around the planet. It's most especially interesting that we have 2 exotic pieces connected to the Cosmodrome, Exodus program, and ultimately the terrestrial arrays, being released in Final Shape. Though there isn't any lore yet, I'm excited to see what Bungie does with this, and which facilities or characters we can see make a return. Whatever is happening to the Traveller, we have to stop it. As Marasov and Osiris have told us, the battle of our lives and the lives of the Sol system are at stake, and it will take each and every Guardian to end this battle once and for all. We are 1 week away from the start of Final Shape, and there are sure to be secrets or enemies hiding behind every corner. Guardians, there is no telling whether we will come out of this alive, but we are sure not going to give up the Traveller without a fight. Devotion inspires bravery. Bravery inspires sacrifice. And sacrifice leads to death. The light lives in all places, in all things, You can try to block it, even try to trap it, but the light will find a way. But that's all I have for you. I hope you have enjoyed watching and listening to today's video. If you did, consider leaving a like or a comment. Tell me, is there anything interesting about the new exotic weapons and armor coming to Destiny that you are interested in? Or what do you think is happening to the Traveler? What is this sound that we're hearing from the cutscene? Subscribe and click the bell to find out when my next lore video goes live. Remember, no matter what you're facing at this moment in time, you can do all things. Stay safe and Godspeed.